Okay guys, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Now, fasten your seatbelts. Here we go. All right guys, I'm back. It's Saturday, May 9th, and it is 9:18 p.m. Eastern Time. We are going to get into Q because Q has been posting like a crazy person. I missed some on the 7th, and of course, Q posted yesterday, and he has been posting today. So that is what we're going to cover this evening, but I just want to take a couple minutes. I didn't post yesterday, and I didn't put, usually I try to post something on my channel if I'm not going to be, posting that night. But yesterday, my mother had a horrific fall again. She had just broken her hip and had to have surgery, and she is nicely recovering from that. And she had another fall. Of course, my stepfather wasn't able to take her to the hospital because he is so immune compromised. He's got terrible problems with his lungs, and if he ever got this, it would kill him. So I took my mom to the hospital, and that is why I did not post last night. I was exhausted by the time I got home, but good news, Mom did not have anything broken, so that is good. She's still in a lot of pain. She's very uncomfortable. She's got really bad bruising, but nothing's broken. Thank you, Lord. So anyway, that is where I was yesterday. And I do want to apologize to you guys that are my regular listeners, because I seem to have missed a lot of time lately. And a lot of it is because I can't get to my regular doctor that does treatments on my back, and which has left me in incredible pain. But I do apologize. I do feel like I have an obligation, because there are many of you that support me on Patreon, that support me through coffee, and so forth. And I do feel responsible. I mean, I feel that, if you are good enough to support me in what I do, I need to be consistent. And I am hoping I'm going to be far more consistent from here on in. I am hoping. I do try to post whenever I can, and when I do get back from, a day off, I do try to post 2 videos. But again, I do want to be fair to my regular listeners and to those of you that support me, because really, I do feel like I have an obligation to you guys, and not that I view it as an obligation. I really enjoy doing it, but I guess you can understand I have to care for elderly parents, and I have some very serious health issues of my own. But again, that is only excuses, and I am going to try to do much better, because I do feel bad about it. Anyway, I do want to thank, speaking of supporters, I've got a couple people here. Lisa Mick, she must have a last name like mine that starts with MC. Lisa Mick from Tennessee. Love Tennessee. It's a beautiful, beautiful state. And Kelly B is a new Patreon supporter. So woohoo! Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. And what we're going to do, now I am planning on doing 2 videos tonight, and well, who knows? The night's young, but I do want to get through the Q posts, but I have a ton of news that is, piling up, because I've been covering Q posts and not the news, and I think it's all important. So I don't know where we'll end up tonight, but let's just dig in and see where the night takes us. All right, so this is drop 4148 from Q. This is May 7th, and Q states the following: the news is dead. Has been for a good while now, just hasn't had the good grace to lie down. Yeah, it's been dead for a while now. It's starting to stink, to tell you the truth. Really bad. So the news is dead. You are what matters now. Handle with care, Q. So we are the news. We are the ones that are getting out the real news to people and disseminating it, because the mainstream media does not want to touch the real news. They would rather just kind of follow the narrative, the fairy tale. They're just living the dream, I guess, on the news. It just has nothing to do with reality. But anyway, and I'm not talking about just myself. I'm talking about all of us. We are all the news. And, those of us that are doing it like this, or those of us that are prefer to have Facebook or Twitter as our platform, or Instagram, or what have you. Or maybe the way you spread it is just going out and talking to neighbors and people at the grocery store and so forth. Maybe that's how you disseminate the news. But you are the news. Whether you have an audience of 1 or 2, or whether you have an audience of 1 million, you are the news. All right. So Lisa Mae Crowley says, with so much propaganda being peddled by mainstream media and disinfo shills posting obvious clickbait trash, it's imperative we use utmost care and discernment when sharing info. If unsure about something or speculating, we should make it clear that it's not verified. Handle with care. And this is a very good warning that she says, because really I have seen so many people posting ridiculous things, and it makes the movement look bad. It really does. Like crazy out there stuff. So anyway, and I do try to, I'm not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but I do try to, if I make an error, to come back and correct that. And I have made lots of errors, and many of you have been the ones to correct me. And I like that. I don't get offended with that whatsoever. I'm more concerned with getting the truth out there than being right. So, and this by Dio Presso Liber says, the news is dead. We are what matters. Handle with care. We need to work to be accurate and truthful. If we are speculating, state that we are speculating. By the way, have you seen any blue check journalists on the right give any credit at all to Q for calling the General Flynn outcome correctly over a year ago? None. And you never will. You never will. So let's go on here. And this, I am sorry, I'm like itching like crazy. I don't even know why. Well, I put this cream on my shoulder, and literally I have itched all my skin off almost. I know, it's just such a pleasant visual there. Okay. All right. Obama defense official Evelyn Farkas admitted she lied on MSNBC about having evidence of collusion. Now, this is interesting because it goes along with what Q just posted there. And it says, I didn't know anything. And this is from May 8th. Former Obama administration defense official Evelyn Farkas testified under oath that she lied during an MSNBC interview when she claimed to have evidence of alleged collusion, a newly declassified congressional transcript of her testimony shows. Farkas testified before the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence on June 26, 2017, as part of the committee's investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election between Donald Trump and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. Excuse me. Lawmakers keyed in on an appearance Farkas made on MSNBC on March 2nd, 2017, in which she urged intelligence community bureaucrats to disseminate within the government and potentially even leak to media any incriminating information they had about Trump or his aides. And, she stated that she had information, but she has now admitted that she lied. Well, at least she has the guts to stand up and say she lied, unlike certain other people we know. Yeah, you know who you are, pencil neck. Okay, now let's go on, and we are on drop 4149, just making sure everything is running here. Every once in a while, I get this fear that it's not recording. I don't know where that comes from. Gee, I haven't a clue. All right. Now, 4149, a doctor grabs mic and destroys Democrats, mainstream media, and their nationwide CV shutdown. And it has this meme, The Great Awakening. And we have a link here, which we are going to go out to right now. And let's listen to what he has to say. I love this. Philip Anderson says, a doctor with absolutely no F's to give grabs a microphone and absolutely destroys Democrats and their nationwide CV shutdown. All right, let's listen to what he has to say here. This is 2 minutes and 20 seconds long, and we're going to listen to it in its entirety. All right.
The experts are wrong. What if quarantining the healthy doesn't actually save lives? What if wearing a mask in public is not effective? My name is Dr. Jeff Barkey, and I'm here representing thousands of physicians across the country whose voices are being silenced because we don't agree with the mainstream media and the experts who are telling us what to do. Never in the history of this great republic have we quarantined the healthy.
It's true.
Never in the history of this great republic have we told churchgoers that it's illegal for you to exercise your First Amendment right of freedom of religion.
Right.
Yet at the same time, it's essential to keep pot dispensaries open. Never in the history of this country have we been told that you can't go to church because it's non-essential, but you can go get an abortion because that's essential. Never before in our country have we let criminals out of jail, but we've told you can't exercise your Second Amendment right and protect yourself by purchasing a firearm.
He's good.
When liquor stores are deemed essential, but your businesses are deemed non-essential, there's something wrong going on. This booklet, the Declaration of Independence and our U.S. Constitution, was never designed to restrain the people.
That's right.
It was designed to restrain the government.
Oh, he is awesome. You go, boy. I don't know who you are, Dr. Barkley, but I salute you. That is just absolutely wonderful. And he speaks the truth. And that's why it resonated so much with the crowd. You could tell how they were reacting to it because it resonates with all of us. We all know. We all know at this point anyway. Yeah, I mean, up here, all the pot shops are open up here, all the liquor stores, all that, but you can't go to church. You know, I don't get that. I don't get that. The abortion clinics are open, you know, but we can't go to church. Don't get that. All right. Now, let's go back. And now Lisa Mae Crowley said, God bless this doctor for saying what millions of us believe. And Dio Presso Liber says, people are waking up to the truth. Love this video of the doctor. I do too. I wish that we'd see more of him because he makes a whole lot of sense. And we are on to the next. And we're on drop 4150. I hope you guys can hear me. I don't have this quite. Hopefully that's better. Trump calls for dirty cops to pay big price for Russia probe after release of transcripts. Yeah, dirty cops. Well, we have a lot of those, don't we? I mean, you know, like FBI, the top dogs. All right, let's go take a look at what Q wants us to look at. Trump calls for dirty cops to pay big price for Russia probe after release of transcripts in Fox and Friends interview. And it says President Trump, in an extensive interview Friday on Fox and Friends, tore into what he termed dirty politicians behind the Russia probe a day after transcripts were released showing the top showing that top Obama officials said they knew of no direct evidence of collusion involving the Trump campaign. It was a very dangerous situation what they did, he said. These are dirty politicians and dirty cops and some horrible people, and hopefully they're going to pay a big price in the not too distant future. I think that all of America is hoping that, at least the part of America that's awake. This cannot be allowed to continue in this country because you cannot erode the rule of law in the eyes of the people because people just give up, thinking there is no justice. And unless we see justice being meted out properly at the top, I think you're going to have a lot of, unrest in this country. Let's put it that way. All right. Now, it was a vague but ominous warning from the commander-in-chief, considering the history of the Russia probe is being reviewed to this day by U.S. Attorney John Durham. Trump was specifically reacting to newly released transcripts of interviews from the House Intelligence Committee's Russia's investigation revealed top Obama officials acknowledged they knew of no empirical, and empirical, of course, means provable, no empirical evidence of a conspiracy despite their concerns and suspicions. The officials' responses align with the results of former special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation, which found no evidence of criminal coordination between the Trump campaign and Russia in 2016, while not reaching a determination on obstruction of justice. Now, I don't know how you can obstruct justice when you are innocent of what you're being, charged with or suspected of. He wasn't guilty of collusion, so how can he be guilty of obstruction of justice? Doesn't make sense. But then nothing they have done at the DOJ, FBI has made much sense. Now that things are getting cleaned out, it's much better. But back, it was bad. The transcripts were released by House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff, revealed top Obama officials were questioned over whether they had seen evidence of such collusion, coordination, or conspiracy, the issue that drove the FBI's initial case and later the special counsel probe. I never saw any direct empirical evidence that the Trump campaign or someone in it was plotting or conspiring with Russians to meddle with the election, former Director of National Intelligence James Clapper testified in 2017. That's not to say that there weren't concerns about the evidence we were seeing, anecdotal evidence, but I do not recall any instance where I had direct evidence. And Trump used those revelations to double down on his assertion that the entire investigation was a politically motivated hoax. And it was. Well, absolutely. I think most people knew it from the beginning, and they knew it was just a total hoax, a made-up story, a total disgrace to our nation. It made it impossible to deal with other countries, including Russia, because of what they were doing, he said. Schiff published the files approved in late 2018 for release by the committee after facing pressure earlier this week from Republicans to do so. Acting Director of National Intelligence Richard Grenell then notified Schiff that the redaction and classification process was complete and that the records were ready to be made public. Schiff, though, faulted the White House for the delay, accusing them of dragging their feet on the classification review. And even as officials in those interviews said that they didn't have hard evidence of collusion, conspiracy, or coordination, Schiff pointed to a variety of examples he described as ample evidence of the corrupt interactions between Trump associates and Russia. For instance, he cited how Trump's eldest son, Donald Trump Jr., infamously accepted an offer of supposed Russian dirt on Hillary Clinton. Schiff said in a statement, the transcripts released today richly detail evidence of the Trump campaign's effort to invite, make use of, and cover up Russia's help in the 2016 presidential election. Special counsel Robert Mueller identified in his report similar and even more extensive evidence of improper links between individuals associated with the Trump campaign and the Russian government. A bipartisan Senate investigation also found that Russia sought to help the candidacy of Donald Trump in 2016. I bet you have a cat butt in your face. I'm just saying. I don't have control of the cats. All right, and Trump on Friday didn't hold back in his opinion of the California Democrat. So Schiff is a crooked politician, crooked as can be, one of the worst I've seen, and I've seen some beauties, he said. He's a liar, he's a terrible person, he's terrible for our country. Guys like that end up going down, he said. They're crooked and bad. The Justice Department also announced Thursday that it was withdrawing its case against former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn after a considered review of all the facts and circumstances of this case, including newly discovered and disclosed information. In late 2017, Flynn pleaded guilty to making false statements during a White House interview with FBI agents, but his team has sought to withdraw his guilty plea, citing egregious FBI misconduct. In filings, DOJ officials said they concluded that Flynn's 2017 interview by the FBI was untethered to and unjustified by the FBI's counterintelligence investigation into Mr. Flynn, and that the interviews were conducted without any legitimate investigative basis. And this is the tweet from President Trump. Yesterday was a big day for justice in the USA. Congratulations to General Flynn and many others. I do believe there is much more to come. Dirty cops and crooked politicians do not go well together. Yes, and whoops, what happened there? I don't know. He said on Fox and Friends that there's still more to come, hinting that more files will be related, may be related both to former President Barack Obama and former Vice President Joe Biden's role. Democrats overnight slammed Attorney General Bill Barr for the DOJ decision on Flynn, even calling for a new Inspector General investigation. But Trump on Friday praised Barr as an official of unbelievable credibility and courage. Trump also weighed in on ongoing CV crisis, particularly new unemployment numbers showing that unemployment rate soared to 14.7%, saying that it was fully expected. Oh, I fully suspect it's much higher than 14.7%. I'm just saying. It's fully expected. There's no surprise. Everyone knows that. Someone said, oh, look at this, but even the Democrats aren't blaming me for that. But what I can do is bring it back, he said. And I have no doubt at all that he will. All right, so let's wrap that up and get back to Q. And now Lisa Mae Crowley says, was an excellent interview. I only grabbed clips about revelations regarding Spygate. Twitter wouldn't allow me to share the final clip about Comey for some reason. POTUS said once he fired him, everyone was ratting each other out. POTUS said those who did this to him will pay a big price in the not too distant future. POTUS discusses dirty, crooked Adam Schiff and how he's been able to lie about everything because he has immunity while Congress is in session. But he's going down. What you've seen so far is incredible, especially as it relates to President Obama, because if anyone thinks that he and Sleepy Joe Biden didn't know what was going on, they have another thing coming. POTUS praises Richard Grenell for doing a fantastic job. Unlike his predecessor, Coates and Clapper, they didn't do a thing. POTUS, Sleepy Joe was involved in this also very much, and other people around President Obama were totally involved, and you'll see more and more things come out. POTUS discusses Wray. Well, a lot of things are going to be told in the next couple weeks, so let's see what happens. He was appointed by Rod Rosenstein, and a lot of things are coming out. Let's see what happens with him. Look, the jury's still out with regards to that. POTUS trashes Sessions' optics, which is just for optics because we know that Jeff Sessions is taking a bullet, really, taking one for the team. That's what Q said previously. Now, 8th of July, 2019, something you need to take one. Oh, yeah. So she alludes to that. The 8th of July, 2019, Q said, sometimes you need to take one for the team publicly before you are vindicated as a hero. The 7th of November, 2018, thank you for your service to our country, Mr. Jeff Sessions. Your sacrifices will never be forgotten. Q+, which of course is the president himself. POTUS talks about his parents, especially his mom. He said she loved him, which is probably not easy to do. Aww. And this by Praying Medic, POTUS trashes Comey, Clapper, and other deep state assets, but when he mentions Rosenstein, he draws back, suggesting we're going to learn more about him soon. So, all right. Now, let's go on to the next. We are on May 8th now, by the way, and this is drop 4151, video meme, Dear Little Adam Skiff. It's going to be okay. Is it? Dear Little Adam Skiff. It's going to be okay. Well, let's go take a look at this, shall we? Of course we shall. All right, now this is 1 minute and 17 seconds. Let's listen to this.
I've sat here for over 3 hours and 15 minutes. I've told you I'll come back. I just don't believe we're sitting here negotiating. When I come back, we'll follow up with your office. How long would you like me to come back for next time? I've told you I'll accommodate you.
I appreciate that, and I appreciate your reminding us of the length of time other secretaries have been here. This is a new way, and it's a new day.
My colleagues might think it's okay.
If you wish to leave, you may.
You might think it's okay that later that day.
It's a new day.
I don't think that's okay.
If you wish to leave, you may.
I would just say that you might think that's okay.
The secretary has agreed to stay.
I look forward to being back in May. I don't think that's okay. They did not treat the Secretary of the Treasury this way.
It's a new day.
If this is the way
This is a new way.
you're instructing me to stay, I don't think that's okay today.
And I'll stay.
We'll work on a date.
And you said okay, and I have the gavel at this point.
I don't understand what you're saying. I've sat here for over 3 hours and 15 minutes.
And it's a new chair.
Can you clarify that for me?
Yes, clarify. It's a new chair,
Okay.
and I have the gavel at this point. If you wish to leave, you may.
Please dismiss everybody. I believe you're supposed to take the gravel and bang it. That's
Please do not instruct me as to how I'm to conduct this committee. I have the gavel at this point. This committee is adjourned.
Thank you, and I look forward to being back in May.
Okay, see, I'd never seen that before, and that is priceless. Absolutely priceless. Oh my gosh, that's hysterical. Little Adam Skiff, it's going to be okay. Actually, no, Adam, it isn't. Yeah. All right, let's go back now. Oh, I love that. Now that was funny. I don't care who you are. All right, and there is obviously Xander's feeling much better because he's back to scratching at the pillows. Why? I don't know. He's an odd cat. Very, very odd. Yes, I'm talking to you. Yes, I'm talking about you. Get that pillow. Get it. All right. Let's go on. This by Lisa Mae Crowley. That was hilarious. Nice to see Q linking to the creative work by fellow patriots. Congratulations, Sir Mac. And this by Dio Presser Lieber. The comms are delicious. Day 1 of the corn was yesterday, or either this past week. Day 2 is likely today, or all of next week. Day 4 is likely 2 weeks from now, when we may see the first arrest. I'm speculating to some degree. Yeah, to a great degree, I think. Anyway, let's go on, because we can. We are on drop 4152. 4152. That cat's strange. If Hillary had won, you'd never even know what CV is. And let's go take a look at this. I have clipped it out for us. If Hillary had won, you'd never even know what COVID-19 is. And Q says, all assets deployed, win by any means necessary. Democrat Party death spiral. And I do believe that's what we're seeing. And do you know when I don't know if any of you take baths. I am a bath aficionado. And when you pop that, thing on the tub, the water goes down. But when it gets almost there and you hear this sucking noise, like, and it just spirals down the drain. I think that's what we're hearing now. If you listen closely, you can hear it. Really? Okay, now, Lisa Mae Crowley says, if that witch had won, it would have been the end of our republic. Oh, yes. All assets deployed to give her another crack at the bat. She is the bat. She's a correct bat. COVID-19 unleashed to force mail-in voting. Will she jump in the race soon to claim political persecution when she's arrested? Who knows with her? Really, she just won't go away. Scary. Now, this by D. Oppresso Liber, Sun Q2 on Twitter, great person to follow, as is Lisa Mae Crowley. Q reiterates COVID-19 used to prevent POTUS re-election. If Hillary Rodham Clinton was elected, Deep State would have had no need to release it. They will kill whoever it takes, and however many it takes to regain power. Well, we know that with Hillary Clinton. I mean, what's her death total now? I mean, seriously. Fear not, they are in a death spiral. Yeah, they'll probably leave a ring around the tub too. Seriously, hate when that happens. You gotta get in there and scrub it. Nah. They'll leave a big old nasty ring around the tub when they leave. Okay. I'm going to be scrubbing forever to get that off. Now we are on drop 4153. 4153. The long and ugly truth about the Russia hoax and Deep State's failed attempt to stop Trump. Didn't work. All right. And let's look at this. No, really. Let's. CrowdStrike testimony regarding DNC and Russia hack. There's no direct evidence. That's what the testimony is. Manipulation of source, computer to computer. It was transferred computer to computer. We know that because of the speed, because there's no way that they could have downloaded that much information over an internet connection that fast. Internal download, terminal 1, speed, hand-to-hand transfer. Yes, it was a hand-to-hand transfer because he took the disk and he handed it to WikiLeaks. My gosh, I'm sorry about that. My cat is full of Mexican jumping beans or something. I don't know. Get down. Go on. I know you're feeling better, but you can't just go willy-nilly everywhere, knocking things over and being crazy. All right. So, hand-to-hand transfer, yes. WikiLeaks published versus Seth Rich murder, and we know that was a murder. MS-13, there was 2 MS-13 people that were discovered. They were killed right close to where Seth Rich was murdered. They were also murdered. MS-13 too, and it was, I think, if I'm not mistaken, 2 days later. Or maybe it was 1 day later. I'm not sure, but it was very quickly afterwards. MS-13, the 2 murders, case summary notes, interning for the DNC can be deadly. Well, it can when you have information on them, especially on Hillary Clinton. That has got to be the most dangerous thing in the entire world, is to have information about Hillary Clinton. Anyway, All witness reports, non-evidence, Russia POTUS Connect dossier, primary vehicle was the dossier, this fake dossier, the Steele dossier, was the primary vehicle to obtain these FISAs, and the special counsel and impeachment dossier discredit prior to no name assist, and that was, no name, McCain. Senator Stamp, credible, FBI, floor 7, DNI, POTUS, PDB. I'm not sure what that stands for. POTUS, I'm not sure. I'm drawing a blank there. How does one draw a blank? I'm not sure. Anyway, FBI, floor 7, DNI, CIA, DNC, White House, primary, bulk, FBI, floor 7, DNC, Hillary Rodham Clinton for president, DNI, CIA, White House, FISA, 4, upstream collection. Primary target was POTUS, cross 1 to 9, FISA, 1, upstream collection. Primary target, C, cross 1 to 3, FBI, floor 7, DOJ, Loretta Lynch, Bill Comey, coordinated tarmac. Oh, Bill Clinton. DOJ, Loretta Lynch, and Bill Clinton, of course, they coordinated on the tarmac, and unofficial Hillary Rodham Clinton discussed exchange, special counsel, security detail planning, coordinated DOJ, Loretta Lynch plus Bill Clinton. DOJ, Loretta Lynch instructed Comey, PR1, drop all charges, and we know that. That he was instructed to drop all charges. DOJ, Loretta Lynch, instruct language the report. Hillary Rodham Clinton, careless. Gee, I'm not sure. Okay. FBI, floor 7, assist. CIA, domestic spy, avoiding CIA, non-U.S. charter. Now, this is something I'm going to have to look into more, because there's a lot of information here, and probably 90% of it we already know, maybe all of it. I'm not sure, but let's go on to Lisa Mae Crowley's commentary here, because this is I thought I had looked at all of these in depth, but apparently I did not look at this one very in depth. So let's go down here. Okay, CrowdStrike made it appear DNC server was hacked by Russia, which of course we know it wasn't. Emails downloaded passed to WikiLeaks manually by Seth Rich, who was murdered by 2 MS-13 hitmen, who were also murdered nearby less than 24 hours later. Okay, so it was less than 24 hours later. I knew it was fairly soon afterwards, but I didn't know it was that soon afterwards. Their phones were recovered, unlocked. Mueller never examined the server. Yeah. Not one of 53 witnesses saw evidence Trump colluded with Russia. Discredited dossier was the main justification for FISA, for the special counsel impeachment. No name, stamp of approval as credible, including in PDB. I'm not sure what PDB stands for. Probably somebody's going to tell me, and I'm going to go, oh, I knew that. FBI floor 7, Clapper, Brennan, Hillary Rodham Clinton, DNC coordinated FISA, 4 main targets, POTUS, FISA, 1 target, Cruz. Well, yes, according to Q, he told us, well, a long time ago that Cruz was one of the targets. Loretta Lynch coordinated with FBI Floor 7 and Clinton's regarding meeting on tarmac, where she was offered Ruth Bader Ginsburg's seat if she made Hillary Rodham Clinton's email investigation go away. Hillary Rodham Clinton present virtually. Comey said no reasonable prosecutor would take the case a week later. Was Strzok deep cover CIA working at FBI to enable domestic spying? CIA isn't legally allowed. Seems he was a conduit for umbrella surveillance via Five Eye partners who received speculative authorization from, or special authorization rather, from Hussein, White House. Steele worked through BNN or 3 spies inserted in Trump campaign with Australia's help. Mueller met with POTUS day before Rod Rosenstein appointed him as special counsel. Was not for FBI director job, term limit prohibition. Yeah, it wasn't for the FBI director's job because he wasn't able to. He wasn't he wasn't not qualified, but he'd already reached his term limit. Discussed McCabe, too, trying to regain control after Comey fired. Rod Rosenstein issued second scope memo to target inside plants, and General Flynn, which initiated immediate gag order via POTUS. If Rod Rosenstein was working as a double agent, which I still believe he was, earlier drops regarding Air Force One meeting made it seem like he was an enemy. This appears to say Rod Rosenstein debriefed POTUS on Soros, Hussein, Hillary Rodham Clinton coordination. Mainstream media socialism push, Hollywood propaganda, 7 movements, and Antifa posing as MAGA. Now, I don't know how she can keep all the details of everything that we've covered in the last, it's over 2 years. So I don't know. I like after a while, it's starting to all run together. Like I know what the main, tenets are, but oh my gosh, to remember everything, I don't know. There has been so much water under the bridge with Q, and I'd like to be able to go back on my own and just read through some of these posts, the earlier posts, to get a bearing again, because I bet you they're going to make a lot more sense now. Anyway, this is Dio Presso Liber. Okay, good luck with this one. All right, these are always the fun ones to decode. Let me grab my Ovaltine decoder first. CrowdStrike testimony transcript, admissions of no direct evidence that Russia hacked the DNC server. CrowdStrike manipulated the server to make it appear as if Russia hacked it. Logically doesn't make sense. If computer hacker, it would have taken hours, if not a couple days, to transfer all the documents and files computer to computer transfer. Logic dictates it was downloaded onto a flash drive, which is a lot faster than computer to computer over internet, and then handed off to source. Seth Rich was DNC intern who downloaded server contents onto flash drive and handed off to WikiLeaks, possibly through Kim.com. Seth Rich murdered. California Penal Code for murder is statute section 187 by DNC. DNC hired MS-13 thugs to do the deed. MS-13 thugs, 2 of them are then murdered shortly thereafter to cover up their evidence trail. Podesta said in an email he was all about making an example out of the leakers. Russia, POTUS influence has 0 evidence, all based on fraudulent dossier, which was discredited in January 2017 by Subsource. Steele was found to be unbelievable and known to be an intel asset for MI6. No-name McCain assisted with fraudulent dossier by giving him stamp of approval and claimed it was credible and sent a staffer over to UK to pick up dossier. He then provided a copy to the fake news. Dossier was placed in Hussein's presidential daily briefing by FBI's 7th floor senior execs and general counsel's office with approval from DNI, Clapper. Hussein was aware of dossier and knew it was fraudulent. FBI, DNI, CIA, DNC, and Hillary for President campaign concocted plan to conduct FISA surveillance on aides and assistants in Trump campaign to try and use umbrella surveillance to collect intel on real Donald Trump during his campaign. They also did the same to Ted Cruz by targeting 3 of his staff for FISA surveillance in case he won Republican nomination for presidency. FBI Loretta Lynch, Floor 7, Loretta Lynch and Bill Clinton coordinated tarmac meeting between Clinton and Lynch in Arkansas, where they discussed a Supreme Court seat for Loretta Lynch. If she dropped the investigation into Hillary, she would take Ginsburg's seat when Ginsburg retired after Hillary was president. Loretta Lynch instructed Comey to drop all charges but make it seem believable for PR, public relations purposes. MSM would provide the cover. He would say she was careless but not reckless or criminal intent. Peter Strzok worked for FBI but was really CIA agent. He bridged FBI to CIA, and he and the 7th floor assisted CIA with domestic spying on Page and George Papadopoulos. That's right, I said George Papadopoulos. Manafort, Flynn. CIA can't spy domestically, so FBI did it for them via FISA and other means. Five Eye also assisted in domestic spying on Trump and Cruz aides by collecting signal intel and providing to Brennan, per Hussein, top secret request, and promote socialism, while Hollywood would push propaganda to try and get the sheep to follow. There were 7 movements planned to try and rally the left, suppress the right, and terrify patriots. Think Antifa. Now, that was very well written, very succinct, and very precise. Good job. That was Dio Presso Liber, SunQ2 on Twitter. Excellent, excellent job with that decode, really. Now, this is drop 4154. Obama was running a shadow presidency, speaking to foreign leader before and after POTUS's travel. And remember that? Remember when before and after POTUS would travel, Hussein would be there? And we were all thinking, what is he doing? He's not president anymore. What is he doing? Well, that's what he was doing. Shadow presidency, Hussein, pre, post, foreign travel, shadow POTUS. He was shadowing the POTUS. He was going where he went. Probably POTUS would go and discuss something with a foreign leader. Then Hussein would come along and say, oh, well, he's going to be out soon. So, you got to deal with me. Who knows what he was doing? None of it was good. Lisa Mae Crowley says, believe national security action formed to undermine everything POTUS was trying to accomplish. Hussein traveled around the world before and after POTUS overseas trips to tell foreign governments they would get rid of Trump and to hold off on making deals. He's a piece of work. Piece of work. It'll be very interesting to see what happens to Obama, really, or if anything happens to him. All right, let's go on. Now, we are on drop 4155. 4155, Obama, Biden, Oval Office meeting on January 5th, 2017 was key to entire anti-Trump operation. Now, let's come down here. This is from April 4th, 2018. This is an older Q post, and he's putting it in here for reference. Hussein timeline, January 20th, 2017 to today. Cross against POTUS schedule. Cross against White House visitor log 1122 to January 18th, 2017. This will become very relevant very soon. And we've got a link down here to the Federalist, and it says shadow presidency setup. Now, let's take a look at this. All right. Obama-Biden Oval Office meeting on January 5th was key to entire anti-Trump operation. Susan Rice's bizarre Inauguration Day email about that meeting helps explain the campaign of leaks, lies, and obstruction that followed. Information released in the Justice Department's motion to dismiss the case it brought against Lieutenant General Michael Flynn confirms the significance of a January 5th, 2017 meeting at the Obama White House. It was at this meeting that Obama gave guidance to key officials who would be tasked with protecting his administration's utilization of secretly funded Clinton campaign research, which alleged Trump was involved in a treasonous plot to collude with Russia from being discovered or stopped by the incoming administration. President Obama said he wants to be sure that we engage with the incoming team. We are mindful to ascertain if there is any reason that we cannot share information fully as it relates to Russia. National Security Advisor Susan Wright wrote in an unusual email to herself about the meeting that was also attended by Deputy Attorney General Sally Yates, FBI Director James Comey, and Vice President Joe Biden. A clearer picture is emerging of the drastic steps that were taken to accomplish Obama's goal in the following weeks and months. Shortly thereafter, high-level operatives began intensively leaking selective information supporting a supposed Russia-Trump conspiracy theory. The incoming National Security Advisor was ambushed, and the incoming Attorney General was forced to recuse himself from oversight of investigations of President Trump. At each major point in the operation, explosive media leaks were a key strategy in the operation to take down Trump. Not only was information on Russia not fully shared with the incoming Trump team, as Obama directs, the leaks and ambushes made the transition chaotic, scared quality individuals away from working in the administration, made effective governance almost impossible, and materially damaged national security. When Comey was finally fired on May 9th, in part for his duplicitousness regarding his handling of the Russia collusion theory, he orchestrated the launch of a special counsel probe that continued his efforts for another 2 years. That probe ended with Mueller finding no evidence of any American colluding with Russia to steal the 2016 election, much less Trump or anyone connected to him. An analysis of the timeline from early 2017 shows a clear pattern of behavior from the federal officials running the collusion operation against the Trump campaign. It also shows how essential media leaks were to their strategy to sideline key law enforcement and intelligence officials and cripple the ability of the incoming Trump administration to run the country. Here's a timeline of the key moments and news articles of the efforts per Obama's direction to prevent the Trump administration from learning about the FBI's operation against it. Now, this is a very long article. It goes into the timeline, but I have a lot to cover tonight, a lot. So I'm going to leave that, and you can actually, I will leave the link to that in the first pinned comment so that you can peruse it at your leisure, because there's a lot to get through, a lot of Q to get through. All right, so let's, Lisa Mae Crowley says the 5th of January 2017 meeting with Hussein, Biden, Comey, Rice, Yates meeting regarding way forward on Russia collusion and cover-up operation. Susan Rice bizarre inauguration day email about that meeting helps explain the campaign of leaks, lies, and obstruction that followed. Now, Dio Presso Lieber says Hussein was running a shadow presidency the entire time. Q told us a while back that Hussein would travel in behind POTUS and try to undo everything POTUS was doing. Coup on a massive scale that's hard to fathom. I think that Trump deserves another 4 years for the 4 years that they have effectively stolen from him by, really impeding his work. I mean, I just think that's fair. Anyway, let's go on now. And I'm just checking here because I'm not sure where to break, and I don't know how many May 8th there is left. Well, quite a few. Well, let me do one or two more. I can't remember what time I started. I think it was a little bit after 9. So let me do a couple more, and then what I'll do is I'll break and I'll pick up right from where I left off, and we'll finish them up that way. And if I still have a voice, and I can't guarantee I will, there's a lot of news that I need to get to. But all right, let's just do a couple more, and then I'll break, and we will pick up right from where I left off and in the second video. All right, we are on drop 4156. 4156. California governor signs order to send mail-in ballots to all registered voters for the November election. Oh, surprise, surprise. Yeah. And this is the link that Q has left us. I've just clipped it out here. It says, breaking, Governor Newsom signs order to send mail-in ballots to all registered voters in California for the November election. Governor Newsom, okay, well, I just read that, and I guess there's no more to read. COVID-19, hard push, lockdown extend in swing states, California, New York. Yeah, they're very, very transparent what they're doing, because they are wanting to extend the lockdown in the swing states, you know. And why are they wanting to do that? Well, they want to have a reason to have mail-in ballots, because, oh, well, we don't want people out voting. They might get the virus. So, yeah, that's what this is all about. Democrat controlled? Absolutely. Is this about the virus or the election? It's about the election. No question about that. It's about the election. Why would they start caring about our health now? Do you think they care? You think Nancy Pelosi cares? Chuck Schumer? Adam Schiff? Maxine Waters? Do you think they care? No. Says, is this about the virus or the election? It's about the election. Legal challenge coming? I sure hope so. Q. Now, Lisa Mae Crowley says Dems will draw this out as long as possible. They'll push the testing with false positives to inflate numbers to justify extensions. Virginia governor said phase 1 starts on the 15th of May, could last 2+ months. They know flu is worse and the drug works. This is about 2020 election. Of course it is. Of course it is. Insanity, says Dio Presso Liber. This is all about power. Legal challenge coming soon. Democrats want to extend a lockdown until election. Not going to happen, Democrats. Just saying, not going to happen. I mean, if we just go out and about, can they arrest everyone? I mean, seriously, this is just absolutely getting ridiculous. Now, I understand. I know the virus is real. I know people are dying from it. I do understand that. I do. But why are all the well people the ones that are locked up? And they're letting criminals out. Oh, they were going to let the Green River Killer out. They were considering that. He's only killed, around 70 women? And you think that he's going to get out and go, oh, thank goodness I didn't get the virus. No, I've reformed my ways. No killing women for me. Yeah. All right. And now we are on drop 4157. 4157. We lost 100,000. No shutdown. 1968 pandemic. H3N2 virus. Pandemic influenza. Flu, CDC, that's true. 1968, 100,000. And we're at nowhere near that. So he links to this, and let me show you what he is linking to here. Come on. It's being stubborn. Yeah, this is by Laura Ingram, and it says, we lost 100,000 people, no shutdown, 1968 pandemic, H3N2 virus, pandemic influenza, flu, and that according to the CDC. And let's go back. No, really. And it says, is this about the virus or the election? Yeah, there was no shutdown back then. Yeah, definitely about the election. And This by Lisa May Crowley. During the 1968 pandemic, the estimated number of deaths was 1 million worldwide and about 100,000 in the United States. Most excess deaths were in people 65 years or older. We didn't shut down the country then. This is all about the 2020 election. And the oppressor Lieber says all about the election. I think we all can agree on that. And now we are on drop 4158, 4158, and it's irregular warfare, which is what is happening. There's lots of different names for irregular warfare: psychological warfare, asymmetrical warfare. There's all sorts of names for it, really. Shadow presidency, shadow government, insurgency, irregular warfare. And that's exactly what Obama administration was doing. They were, Obama was a shadow presidency, even though President Trump was legally the president, duly elected and put in there by the people and their will. Obama ran the shadow presidency. He ran a shadow government, and it was insurgency. It was treason, and he did it through irregular warfare, psychological operations, and so forth. And we are on drop 4159, 4159, dig, additional Russia investigation, depositions, interview transcripts, and documents. Now, Q has left this link, and it links to a mess of documents, like extensive documents, and it's going to take, and Q is telling us to dig, but there's a lot out there. So yeah, and again, I can leave this link as well for you guys to look at, because you might want to go out there and take a look yourself and see what you can find. And if you guys find anything interesting, let me know so we can cover it here and let everybody know. All right, and we are on drop 4160. Happy hunting, Anons. Q will help guide once we hit a target. And so what they're saying here is that, go out and look at this link, and once you hit a target, Q's going to provide further guidance, because right now we don't know what we're looking at, and we don't know what's important and what isn't. So Q is telling us to get out there and dig. Once we find it and get close to the target, Q's going to guide us. We can help guide once you hit a target. It must be open source. Happy hunting, Q. Now, Dio Presso Liber says, I asked for a little guidance yesterday with all these D-class documents, not saying he was responding to my tweet, but I think a lot of us felt that way with information overload. Q said once we hit a target, he will give guidance. Much thanks, Q. And I was thinking that maybe we can push, and yeah, we've got one more to cover for May 9th, and then we will just have today's to cover in the next video. Woohoo! All right, so this is the next drop 4161. 4161 was something removed, and it says disregard, insertion removed, Q. Now, I was a little lost on this, but it says what Q said was included in the released documents has been removed, so disregard. Everyone will immediately notice the fire IG Atkinson transcript is missing. I don't know. This is now I think this was from Dio Presso Liber if I'm not mistaken, but I'm not sure exactly. Was something removed? I don't even know if that is the correct interpretation of this, because I'm not sure what Q is referring to, except that it's in with all this stuff about these documents. So something must have been removed. All right. Well, that is it for this video. Yes, it is. And yeah, I'll be back in the next video. So that's it. I'm going to take a tiny little bit of a break. I'm going to get this uploaded and I'm going to jump right into the next video. So I'll see you guys then. Thank you so much for listening. You guys are the bestest. Good night, guys. Stay safe and keep seeking truth because you and I both know deception bites.